Today we're going to treat the chickens for an unknown problem, and we've experienced over the last couple of weeks them plucking their feathers from the rear and from their flanks, and the normal cause of this is either bullying by one of the other chickens or red mites. But we've watched the chickens carefully and we've not seen any evidence of bullying. And the other telltale sign is that all of the chickens have got this feather plucking to some degree, which makes us think that it's not bullying. So the other night we smothered the chickens in diatomaceous earth, and that is probably the best way to treat any lice or any insects that are on the birds, and I think that's done a good job. But for belts and braces, today we're going to spray the inside of the coop, and that will remove any insects inside the coop, including red mite. And I'm going to show you the method that I use, which again is a doubly sure way of removing anything unwanted in the coop. So I made our coop, and I made it particularly for easy access, and this sort of job becomes that much easier as a result. So these double doors open nice and wide and everything is at waist level. So we're going to clear this out and get all the bedding out. There'll be fresh bedding going in when we're finished. And one way that you can determine if you've got red mites is to look under the perch. And red mites, typically, if you touch them or rub them, you crush them and you get red on your hands. And there's no evidence of that with this coop. So I'm not convinced that it is red mite, and I've certainly not seen any, but we're going to do everything we can to make sure that the birds are healthy. So the first step is to remove today's eggs, which appear 2, 4, 6. So we've had 6 of the birds lay today, and that means they won't be trying to get in while we clean the coop, and we'll probably leave it shut so that it can aerate. So out with the eggs. So we don't want any birds into the coop while we're using the insecticide. So I'm gonna just close it up and we'll get on with the necessary cleaning inside. Now the great thing about this design is that you can clean the coop out straight into the barrow, and then the barrow goes straight over onto the compost. So we'll get out this perch and I will flame throw this perch to make sure if there's any insects anywhere, they're well and truly destroyed. There's quite a lot of dust in this process, and that's because I put diatomaceous earth on the bottom of the coop, and that also helps to get rid of any insects. And of course it's just as important to clean out the nest box. So this is a weed flamethrower, but it makes the perfect tool for going over the inside of the coop. We're not looking to burn anything here other than insects. So here we go. So the next step is the red mite spray, and this is a proprietary red mite spray, and a bottle like this does 10 litres of water. So I'm going to use just half of it, and we've got 2.5 litres in here, so actually I'm going to use a quarter of it and see how far that gets us. So I'm going to put it under pressure in this pressure spray, and we'll need to give this pressure spray a good clean out when we're done. Now it's a good idea not to get this spray into your lungs, so this long handled sprayer is great for the job, and I'll be stepping outside whilst I spray it all over. It's really important that you give the same treatment to the perch, because if anything's going to crawl on the chickens, this is the way they're going to go up. Now this level of cleaning isn't something that we do very often, This is mainly to get rid of any mites or louse or anything that is doing the birds any harm. In normal terms, we just remove any bird mess from the chippings, and we do that on a daily basis, and it just takes a minute or two. So this is pretty much a self-contained coop that is very, very low maintenance. We'll make sure that that gets dry now, so we'll leave those doors open for the rest of the day, and then later on tonight we'll put diatomaceous earth on the base of the coop, and then our normal wood chip over the top. And then that's about as much as I can do for these birds to make sure that they get better, and I'm sure they will. The chicken guard door is worth its weight in gold. We set it so that it opens early so that the hens get out, and they tend to go in just before dark, so we set the timer so that it comes down just after dark, and that way we know every night the birds are secure, and every morning they get out as quickly as possible. And when they get out in the mornings, they get out into this area, which is fairly large, and then we come over and open the main door so that they can get into the area with the apple trees. And that amount of space means that they got plenty of freedom to run around and scratch and do whatever they need to do. And they always go back into the nest box to lay their eggs, which is very convenient, especially in the winter months, which means all you have to do is come around this side, open the flap, and take the eggs out. So all in all, this is a pretty self-contained area and works really well. The thing to remember is that hens, just like any animal, require a degree of care and maintenance to make sure they're kept healthy. And in the case of the hens, if you keep them healthy and look after them, they look after us. I do hope you enjoyed the video today. If you did, click the subscribe button, click the like button, and if you want updates from me each time I upload a video, click the bell and select all. I do hope you have a great day. Diolch yn fawr.